I'm Gary Mitchell. I am the voice of 3 YouTube channels. Why 3? Because Faceless channel gives you so many more options. You can have more channels that way. For me, I have 3 channels. I was going to do everything on that channel with just a smartphone. I didn't think it would work, but I was amazed at what I could do. Now, let me make one thing very clear. I am not asking anyone to sacrifice quality. No, I'm saying you can make the video you want to make if all you want to use is a smartphone. One in your pocket. Everybody's got one. And they're making TikToks with them. Most of you probably can do 30 seconds. A lot of you can do 2-minute videos. But can you do any video, any size that you want? So what if you want to make a 20-minute video? Could you do that on a phone? Well, I'm going to show you how. It's really not that hard. I enjoy using this process more than I do on the PC. I just like it more. It's easier and it's actually fun to make my videos. And that's gotta mean something. If you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it. So most of you, like myself, you know it's hard to get noticed on YouTube. You know it's hard. Starting from 0 views, 1 video, what chance do you have? Well, you just have to make videos. You have to learn how to do them quick so you don't spend too much time making the videos. AI is going to be way ahead of you because, and there's no reason why you can't use AI. I'm not against it. I'm just making the general assumption that we may be getting into that bit by bit. And I certainly am not a proponent of having the AI do most of it for you. I assume that's not what you had in mind. Let's assume that you still want to make videos using every good tool you can find, and there happens to be some AI, that's great. I'm sure they'll be able to implement some of those things on phone apps. But I am saying right now, you're not behind. You can do anything on the smartphone that the big boys can do. Now I'm sure some of you say, hey Gary, why are you trying to make it on a smartphone? Just use a computer. You can do them any way you want. I am trying to ride the wave that I believe smartphones will be the way more and more people begin to make their videos. There's going to be a lot of reasons for that. Take my word for it. That's the trend. TikTok and YouTube Shorts were made for people to make videos on their phone. Cause there's more and more people that just like using them. They're just too convenient. But we're not talking about how to make TikToks. Everybody knows how to do that. But can you stretch it to a video you might want to make that's in depth, or maybe you want to make a really quality video in 20 minutes, whatever. 20 minutes or whatever the length might be. Now, I will say that using the phone does get extensive if you're going to put detailed editing, because your data is going to be what limits you. First thing, if you're intending on doing serious creation with just a phone, and I have the computer, and you can integrate the two. And that's the beauty, is when you are able to let the phone help you when it's convenient, and how to ship those files to the PC and kind of work off both. And I'll show you some tricks on that later on. But we want to be proficient with just a phone if that's all you got. First thing, get you as big a data phone as you can find. You can operate on the 64 gigabytes. I currently am using a 64 gigabyte phone, but I think I want to get one with a little more data, because I have to send these files to a PC or I gotta lose them once I publish them. So I'm almost like using YouTube as my cloud in that sense, and that could be detrimental to your channel. You want to send YouTube just what you want to send, and you want to be able to retrieve your work that you did on the phone, send it to a cloud, and that way you can save your data. And then when you got time on the PC, you might can retool some of those. But it was so easy to make it on the phone. Faceless channels. If you're going to be doing talking head, it's probably not going to work that well. So bye-bye. If you're going to stand in front of a camera and do 20-minute videos or 10 or 5, just real videos, taking your phone camera, you better have some data. I could never do it. I could do 5 minutes tops. Maybe, well, I could do them, but it would eat all my data up. I only had 64 gigabytes. So if you're going to do something like that, you'd have to get used to doing shorter ones. You can still do it, but the length and the data will determine just how well that'll work. But really, the key I am learned is to get faceless concepts, and there's plenty of them. Plenty. Where you do good videos and in-depth subjects, but you don't have to show your face. And we'll show you how you can develop a recognizable icon to kind of be the face of the channel, because we're not doing those scam kind of faceless channels. We're not just, that's not what we're doing. We're not talking about people that are just taking clips and running them straight. And no, we're talking about making a real video that people will want to watch. I mean, the same quality videos that you're making right now. So with these two groups, you got the TikTokers who might want to expand, and I believe there's plenty of them. They learn how they do it. They can make a good TikTok, and they kind of like it. Then they want to do something a little bigger, maybe branch out in long form, but they find out, oh, maybe I don't know how to use the computer software. Because believe me, it's not easy. And that's really the separation in YouTube the last 5 years has been the guys that can maneuver that PC software deftly and really good at it. You're going to have to spend some time learning how to use that software. If you haven't done that, the phone softwares are much easier. I'm going to show you a couple of good ones. I use KineMaster or KineMaster, however they pronounce it. There are others. Get a one you like, and that's the first step. You're going to have to get a video editor, and I use KineMaster. I have tried some others. I like that one. It seems to be pretty good. I don't even use the paid one. You can pay them whatever and get the logo off. You might want to do that. I haven't done that. That's up to you. Go ahead and, if you want to invest in a premium, it might be easier, but that's a small price. Now, on your phone, you've got a built-in recorder. Go find one that's really good. Try to find one that's really good. If you can find one that uses waves instead of MP3, that's better. So you get your separate recorder, and I have a less than $100 microphone that plugs right into this phone. It's good enough. I'm sitting outside right now, and I may have to adjust the editing a little bit, but I'm going to completely audio edit this thing on the phone. I'll get it fixed. You may have to do a couple takes, but I also have sound room. I have a sound room. I just like doing it out here. I like the ambiance. Hopefully you can still hear it. But the point is, get a decent microphone that plugs into your phone. get a separate voice recorder. There's many. Just get one that's good, and try to get one that doesn't do MP3, but they'll work just fine. Here's the key. Now you got to understand your workflow. If you have problems with workflow, we're going to talk about that a little bit in this video. I'm going to do another video about workflow. The reason I don't want to do that is because most of you may already have that done. You may have a workflow that's way better than mine, but you will need a phone with some data, separate voice recorder, and the reason that is because that lets you have control of your audio files. And you send those to all through the phone. You send those to the editor you choose, and you can just import the audio file and work with it on your video app. And now you at least have a backup on your audio, which is basically critical because, at least the way I do faceless channels, the audio file is the big thing. And that doesn't take up a ton of space on your phone. Alright, so we talked earlier about workflow. Now, the voice recorder critical to the way I make all this work with the data limitations of the phone. 128 gigabytes sure would be nice. I think I'm going to get one. Man, I believe that would just about make it, you'd be invincible. But let's get back. All my talking so far, I'm operating with a 64 gigabyte mentality. That's what I'm working with. If you got more, some of this stuff may not be as big a problem, but you got to control your data. You want to keep your files. You don't want to lose your work just because you can't keep it on the phone. And that's happened to me. I've published 427 YouTube videos altogether, and some I put to private. They just weren't that good. When I first started, I didn't know how to even use the phone software. Right? As I got a little more in depth at it, I discovered that my pals who have channels and really good at video editing on the PC, I noticed that I watched some of their videos and a lot of them don't edit quite as nice as I'm capable of. And I asked them why, and I noticed they don't really know how to use the software all that well. Even though they've had it for years, they just get comfortable doing the basics. And so it's ironic, they got all this huge amounts of data, and they can save all their work, and great workflows are easy. But when they actually put their productions, they're having to sacrifice, and you can outdo them. You can make nicer videos than a lot of people that really think they know what they're doing on the PC, because it does come down to expertise on the software. It's almost like going to college to know how to use that. But I'm telling you, you're going to be just as good on this phone software. There's a few sacrifices, not severe. I mean, for example, with my software, KineMaster, you would have something, whatever you might be using on the PC, but it's not a dramatic difference. I mean, you don't need 107 transitions. If you know how to make a video, half a dozen, more than enough. But it does have quite a few, and you're not making that many sacrifices. There is some, mainly in little things like maybe not as many fonts available with your text, but you can still make very interesting text. You can do almost anything they can. Like I said, people I know, they may have the capacity, but they're not using it because they really aren't adept at it, or it just takes so long, and they're going to fall behind because AI is going to blow them in the wind. you're going to see a class of YouTubers are going to go extinct, and it might happen really quick. Yeah. Guys that make really good videos right now, they still can't keep up with the pace of AI. And so it's going to come down to people like you and me that know how to use a phone and actually are experts in software. I mean, you'll be an expert. You can really pick this up quick, and that's the key. That's the reason we're talking about making it on a smartphone, because the software is so much easier to use. I'm about out of time on this one. I don't want to go too long. I'm trying to keep it to under 15 minutes for data reasons and YouTube algorithm reasons. So to recap what we've learned, okay, I can show you how to be a better producer of content only using the phone, and you can leapfrog. That means jump over people really quickly, because if you're good at software, you're going to be able to make better videos than someone who doesn't know how to make a transition, or doesn't know how to make something happen that he would like to do. Like my pals with the PCs. They probably would like their videos to have some pop and sizzle, but they don't know how to actually get it, so they just go to basic things. We don't have to do that. We're gonna get you up to speed where you're making as good a video as you want to make, and you can do it right here on the phone. We talked about workflow. You do have to get the workflow suitable to your needs, because you're gonna have to make videos a little quicker than the other guys, because it's going to come down to a numbers game. The AI, they can punch buttons and crank them out. The quality will never be as good as yours. You can put human scale, the human scale element to your videos, and the AIs will never have that. I believe that's not going to be a problem. Well, the people that's going to be losing out is the ones right now who are on top, in a way, because they can actually outwork you, because they have the ability to use the software and do quality videos very quickly, and a lot of those are corporate with a lot of people. See, this is just you. You can do this all by yourself, unless you just don't like doing a portion of the video, like you don't like talking. I'm not talking about that, but if you're gonna do the speaking, if this is music, the audio portion you're gonna provide, getting the video elements looking really good on this phone is really easy. And we're gonna talk about workflow in another video. I encourage you to go watch that. It should be showing up. Like I said, I've 400 and something videos made on a smartphone. Now, maybe 200 of them were junk, but I really think my last 100 are actually pretty good. I mean, in terms of the technical quality, maybe not in concept. I'm not saying I'm the next best video maker. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to make a video. Just trying to encourage people who maybe have hit the top of their capacity with making phone production and aren't able to transition or willing to transition to PC. I think there's a lot of people in there. I'm one of them. I like this better, and if you're not comfortable and if it's a lot of work to make a video, you're not going to make as many. But if you can get a nice workflow where literally I can sit on my work area out here and just make my video on the table, because all I gotta do is get the audio right. I basically work off audio. That goes onto my voice recorder, and I save that to infinity. I can send them to the PC, I can send them to the phone, and that is my work. Your YouTube channel is sitting there on audio files in your phone. Send them all over. Then it's easy just go to the phone app and get your videos lined up because it's easy. Then work the audio file. Bingo, you're making videos faster than the big boys right now. And you will make them as fast as you need to make them to keep up with AI. And you'll still make the same quality videos that you're either making now or certainly plan to.